true that you want it.
Well, that's right, guys. I'm just taking in the top player, the player that will prevail today when the dust is cleared or the smoke is cleared. And that is, of course, Neymar Jr. That's because we're talking football. Good morning once again. And football gets our blood pumping now. And speaking of football, women football to be exact, local club Central FC, they are holding a football camp held exclusively for girls. So that means I'm excluded instantly. And they're looking for girls, in fact, between the ages of 8 to 18. The coaching staff will be spearheaded by Central FC's Director of Women and Youth Development, George Romano, as well as a reputable U.S. college women's coach. Well, this morning, I have the pleasure of having three guests with us to talk more about it. Good morning to you, ladies.
Morning.
All right, and they're so bright and cheery this morning, you know, and they were asking me the reason for my bright smile in the morning, and it's because I knew you guys were coming. So, good morning to you. We're glad to have you here. Women football, why a camp exclusively for women?
Well, we believe at Central FC along an entire motto of one club, one goal, one people. So, we're all about the development of football holistically. So, we're not going to discriminate whether it be boy, girl, man. I don't know if we're going to have dog sports at a point in time, but
or maybe sometime soon, perhaps.
You never know in this world that we live in, but it's all about boosting the women's football because we believe that they need the development right now as well and trying to press Trinidad and Tobago on a global scale.
Well, certainly, Sepp Blatter, who is the FIFA president, he spoke about women's football being the future of football, Central FC. Who go by the name of Lady Sharks?
That's correct.
Lady Sharks, all right. Well, you seem to have that down packed. I'm looking at the age group, 8 to 18. Why this age group?
Well, we basically wanted to target especially the grassroots level. So the 8 to 18, especially as this would be the first time, I believe, probably in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, that an all-female exclusive camp would be created for them. So it's really to get the coaches involved and to try and light a fire in the bellies of, one, the sponsors, two, the parents, to invest in their children, invest in their football development, their female football development, and for the players themselves to feel a love and passion for the sport.
All right, so we're going to get back to the whole camp in just a bit. I'm seeing two ladies sitting here. Well, you guys look like 16, so I don't know if you're participants in the camp or what is your role and involvement. Which one of you want to take this one?
We're both coaches. We're both
coaches, huh?
Coaches,
but you
yes.
guys look like 16. I mean,
looks can be deceiving.
already deceived.
Yeah, we're both coaches. We're U.S.-based. Both played at the University of Tampa, so we're alumni there. And we were given the opportunity from Brent Sancho to come down.
And of course, Brent is the World Cup, former TNT World Cup player,
yes.
right?
And he asked us to come down, and we just said, hey, let's do this.
So are you all from Trinidad and Tobago? Do you have background in Trinidad and Tobago?
I have none.
You're shaking your head. Well, I heard you speaking about doubles this morning. So
I'm a fan of doubles. That's my favorite thing here. I love the cultural stuff. I like the music and the food, so it's totally different from where I'm from. But all my family's from the States.
So what made you all decide, well, you shook your head, so you seem to have
mine's different, yes.
Some base, all right? Okay. Give us some of your history as well.
Both my parents are born and raised Trinidad.
All right.
And so I've been here, this is my second time now. I came in 06.
Your second time?
Yeah, it's only been my second, but I was given the opportunity in 06 to play with the under-20s national team.
National team, yes.
And then again in 08 we played in Mexico, though, with the senior team. And now again, so this has been great.
All right, so why come home? I mean, Brent offered you the opportunity. I mean, there must be a big opportunity in Tampa in Florida. I mean, you guys must have been doing well. But why decide to, listen, let me pack up my suitcase and come down to Trinidad to help out with some kids, you know?
I just thought it would be a great experience because it's different from the States, like the soccer here. So I thought it would be a great chance to bring our soccer and our culture to Trinidad.
All right. How has the football been since you've been here? I mean, coming from where you have come from, coming into Trinidad and Tobago, is there anything lacking? What do you see through your perspective of what needs to be done with women's football here?
I would say the big difference is what Central FC is trying to push is sponsors, providing money, just putting into the program what other countries do for their women's football program, as well as building the skill and talent here. There's great talent from what I've seen.
I know your face lit up when you said great there.
There's so many wonderful female athletes. Like from the time that I first saw them to now, it's grown, and it's been nice to see. It would just be nice to be able to push more and bring up all those younger players with more talent.
What do you think players like yourself could introduce, into these young kids that you're aiming for? Because you're looking at 8 to 18. That's a very impressionable age when it comes to football, especially women football, which is they start later than men, particularly in Trinidad and Tobago. What do you think your input, could add to these youngsters?
I think if there's two things I would add, it would be confidence in any female athlete in whatever she wants to do, and then discipline. That would be specifically for the area, discipline and timing, organization, knowing that it takes dedication to play a sport.
All right, let's go back to the camp now. How many people are you targeting right now? What is the number? How can anybody who is interested get involved?
Well, we'll be targeting probably 100 to 150 participants. If anyone is interested in attending the camp, it will be firstly staged at the Hazley Crawford Auxiliary Field from the 7th to the 11th of July, and then we move across to Presentation College Shogunas grounds from the 14th to the 18th of July. And to contact us, it would be 679-5060, or you can check out our website at www.centralfctt.com to get more information and actually register right there.
So how confident are you of getting 150 people? I mean, that's quite ambitious, looking to get 150 people. Are girls that interested in playing football?
Well, we believe in our promotion team, as you see there, the ladies using their bubbly personalities to go out to the schools, go out to the areas, or maybe just putting up a banner on the side of the highway and promoting it as much as possible. We're really looking to take advantage of the fact that school is finishing today. They have all those SEA students who probably...
you always seem to forget that when you leave school, when school starts or ends.
And all those SEA students who probably are a bit hungry for something else, a little bit of freedom now, something different. We're looking to offer that at our all-female football camp.
How challenging have you guys found it in getting young ladies involved in football? I mean, back in the day, there was Ken and Barbie. Now women are into all sorts of activities now. Do you find it a challenge, and how difficult is it, if any?
I don't think it's too much of a challenge. There's basketball, there's football, but from what I've seen here, football seems to be the main female sport. So it's just about awareness and getting them starting. Once they get started, I think that passion will grow.
Now, you guys, tell me a bit about yourselves and your careers thus far.
Myself, I played at UT, played for TNT, those are great experiences to have. But if you start young and go all the way through, it lights you up. And then I started coaching now, so I work full time, and I have my own little club team, and it's just a joy.
Oh, you have your own club team?
I do have my own little club team in the States. So,
all right.
I've been with them for 2 years now, and to see them start, they started as 9-year-olds, now we're going to U11, and the skill that they've gained in the 2 years, it just makes you feel really great about yourself that you're teaching them something that you learned as a child.
All right, Shannon, just a bit about your career.
Okay, I've been playing since I was 5. I played club for 10 years, played high school, and I just got done with my college career actually about 2 months ago. So I'm kind of fresh and new, but I plan on coaching when I get back because I want to, since I'm getting older.
you look like 60, don't worry, and with some Trini doubles,
I want to pass my talent to the young ones and teach them and tell them or grow them and develop them. So that's my plan.
No, there's a reason I asked about your career somewhat because, you seem very accomplished young woman when it comes to football and holistically as well. You're getting your college education as well. And in Trinidad and Tobago, there seems to be a misconception sometimes that, there isn't a future for women in football. How do you challenge that? How do you challenge minds that still think like that?
There's a future for women in anything they want to do, whether it be sports, whether it be job opportunity. It's equal opportunity in the world, and it should be, and it's growing. So it's just about instilling it into their heads. You can do what you want to do as long as you try.
All right, so Amiel, you're a guy, you're involved here with women's football. Not a lot of guys are like yourself, have that interest in women's football. Why do you, take that opportunity now to be involved? You could be looking at perhaps Champions League or something, a World Cup going on right now, Why women's football for you guys?
Well, like I said before, the motto that we are pushing, I am the one that actually came up with the motto.
Oh, you're the one that, oh my goodness.
Which is
your sister playing football?
Not as yet, but from Monday, she definitely will be.
All right.
So it's all about the one club, one goal, one people. I don't believe in sitting back and that leaving any member of society behind, whether it be the women's football, male football, or even the differently abled. I always try to push myself to include as many people as possible, and at the end of the day, their blood runs red generally, so we have to accommodate them and support them in whatever they need.
Now, I'm sure you guys are following the World Cup right now. I'm sure you have your favorites. I hope you're back in Brazil, by the way. I don't like the hesitancy that I'm seeing here.
Well, my team's out. I'm a little heartbroken. Thought the other day.
In the US?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
That was a good game.
I accept my sympathies. But, you know, there's such a buzz going on right now in terms of the World Cup, you know. What is your dream for women football in terms of creating the sort of buzz that we're experiencing now with the men's World Cup?
Well, in terms of that, probably if you look historically, you go back 50, 60 years, I bet if you spoke to any of the players who were playing semi-professional, who were probably a butcher selling in the morning and then coming across to play football, and tell him that a couple billion people in a few decades will be watching him, he would probably curse you and send you away with a salami or something like that. So in terms of that,
I like that.
We have to continue to believe in that longevity, believe in that plan. It's all about putting the systems in place now, so that the future generations could really benefit, and we can look at history to set our stepping stones.
Well, hopefully, I'll be reading about you guys in a magazine sometime soon. Central FC. Tell us about Central FC and the work that they've been doing. It seems like every time now I open my email or I open the papers, I'm seeing Lady Sharks, they do this or they do that, you know. What about some of the work that you're doing in Central right now? Give us an idea of some of the stuff that you're doing right at the moment.
Well, we are always been a very strong community-based team at Central FC. So, like you said, you would always see some press release you're saying,
yeah, we treat her like a lady. I mean, tell me about that. You know, what do? You take women out, you wine and dine them. How does that operate? You know?
The treat her like a lady will be coming up later in July. It is actually a formal dinner that we'll be hosting for prominent female members of society, and the actual waiters and the cooks will be the Central FC teams.
The men from the team, so
primarily the male.
Oh, my ladies, I feel so sorry for you. So sorry. So when are you gonna have a treat him like a gentleman? Where maybe these ladies can come and, you know, we can enjoy some, you know, some fine delicacy from Tampa.
Well, you never know, you know. You could really never say never in sports, so you never know what may happen in the future.
What about the central area that you're involved in? I know you're predominantly, most of your players come from central area. In terms of development of the central base, you seem to be heavily involved in that. Tell me about that development in the central area.
In the central area itself, well, when we started, a lot of the players that we had at the point in time were not from the central area. It was a bit difficult putting together the team in that respect. But as time goes along, we've been promoting in the grounds. We try to play at New Settlement Ground as much as possible, and you'd be really impressed by the fan base that has been growing and supporting those youth team players and whatnot. And we have a good few youth team players who will be making the step up into the first team. And I'd just like to give an acknowledgement for Crown Trace FC for the great work that they've been doing, and they've recently been awarded the FIFA and the Kia Motors Award.
Right, I read something about that. Yes, so they won the Kia Motor car for some work that they've been doing in Central.
Definitely. Their work has been astounding, really and truly. To be recognized, not even recognized locally in Trinidad and Tobago, they've been recognized by FIFA on the whole. And we have a couple of players who were from Crown Trace and are developing through our youth system, and you can expect them to be making a shout within the next couple of years, 2 to 3 years.
All right, well, certainly, guys, it's such a pleasure having you guys with us. Central FC, they are having a women camp for women between the ages of 8 to 18. They're looking for just about 150, so you've got to go quickly register. Remember the number 679, is it? 679-5060. 679-5060. By the time they leave the studio, we're going to have 150, so you got to do it right now. Central FC, certainly is a pleasure having you ladies here. Hopefully you can have a doubles and, you know, smile. That's our wake-up food. And thank you so much, Amir. You're viewing the Sporting Edition, the World Cup Edition, right here on TV6.